Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Today's going to be one of those videos where I just kind of sit down and share some thoughts, some things I've been thinking about a lot lately. The last few weeks have been absolutely crazy, a lot of ups and downs, and I will explain more and talk more about that when the time is right, because it's stuff that I feel really strongly about and things that I feel are important to discuss. But that's for another day. I've got a handful of videos that are all going to be going up this week because the month has just been insane and I haven't been able to kind of put myself in front of the camera and talk. So bear with me today. I want to talk a little bit about photography and, more importantly, great photography and how it really does take time. I made a video recently talking about social media and sort of my change in perspective when it comes to social media. I took a little bit of time off at the end of the year, and then at the start of the year I wiped my Instagram completely out, and I was posting, one photo a day for the first month, but I quickly got tired of even that. Just this idea of using social media and posting on Instagram, I have just not had the desire to share anything there. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I've been working on a new project and sort of changing how I approach things and how I work through a project in real time. Normally, I would always just be sharing photos as progress is being made, and I would share behind the scenes of the project and stuff like that. And I enjoy that aspect of it because I enjoy, relating with other photographers and showing people the part of the process. But it's been really, really refreshing to just sit with the photos myself, share them with a few close friends, and kind of start forming this narrative myself without any kind of outside influence. And I've been working on this for a few months now, and it feels to me like I'm making some of the most honest and vulnerable and just curious kinds of photos that I've ever made, and I'm really, really excited about it. But I have no interest in sharing any of the photos anytime soon, and I have no idea when this project will come to an end and when it'll actually be ready to be presented to people. And normally my mindset would be thinking, okay, timeline, I can plan things out, I can talk about it in a video here, I can post the photos here, and I'm really just kind of letting go of all of that, which puts me in an interesting predicament with, what am I going to talk about here on the YouTube channel? But, we're figuring that out as we go. I've just been pouring myself into this project and giving it all of my attention and all of my energy. And it's really, really rewarding. But I keep having to remind myself that it's going to take time and I don't need to rush it. I don't need to have an end game in mind. It's so easy for me to try and plan things out and give myself a deadline so that I don't continue to just put things off. But the more and more I sit with these photos, the more I realize I really need to give it time. When I look at some of the photos from some of my favorite photographers, people like Mark Steinmetz, I sit there and flip through those books and I see, some of the timeline that those photos were made. And I realize it's taken a really, really long time for one particular book to come together. It's not something that was just worked on for a couple of months and then thrown out there. You obviously can do that. That is one way of working, but I think there's really something to the idea of not rushing and really just letting yourself see things and not trying to, cram everything in a certain time frame. I used to look at the way I would process certain ideas for a project or a series, and I would kind of just look at it as a puzzle, and I would try and think what would go here, what would go there, and it was almost like adding things to a checklist, and then I would just kind of just one by one check things off that list. Okay, I got a photo of this, that'll go there. I'm gonna go ahead, I need something right here. Oh, this would go good there. Let me write that down, I'll shoot it. Okay, cool, that one's done. And it was just like adding these tasks to a to-do list, And as I've been working on this project, I realized that I've been giving it more time and more attention than I probably have any other project before, although I've probably shot less photos in that time frame than I have on other projects. When I was shooting for a friend of mine, I would go out and shoot all day long and just be looking at everything. And I would shoot tons and tons of photos, just hoping to, have something that would actually land. Whereas with this project, I feel like I'm just spending so much more time simply looking and observing things. Even if I don't actually make a photo, I'll see something and just kind of, take some notes, and I'll write things down and I'll just try to explore that idea more. I'm looking for things that kind of pique my curiosity a little bit more rather than, sniping. Like looking for something and then actually shooting it right there. I'm just sitting with everything and spending a lot more time with it that way. And it's so easy to get into the mindset of social media where you need to be posting and, creating new stuff every single day and trying to build and get better and better and better. But it's not always about that. And I think it's so easy for photographers to get sucked into that, especially when you start having some sort of audience. There's like this pressure that gets put on you where you feel like you have to deliver, and you have to deliver essentially what it is that they, signed up for. Not to say that people put that pressure on you and tell you that, but at least for me, I've struggled with that at times where I've felt like I need to deliver what people expect to see from me. And I've really taken a completely different approach to the stuff that I'm shooting right now. And I know it's probably going to get a lot of mixed reactions whenever I do decide to actually share these photos. I think there are going to be people who really enjoy the photos and love them, but I also think there are going to be people who maybe like everything they've seen from me before, but they might see this and think, that's not for me. And that's okay. You don't need to try and make everybody happy, because that's never going to be the case anyway. It's just important to keep in mind that, if you really want to make something that feels worthy to you, something that means something to you, forget any kind of template, forget what people are expecting of you, forget what your peers are doing and how they're making photos and what they're shooting. Focus on what it is that catches your attention, things that make you curious and make you ask questions. Try and chase that and really ground yourself in that and just keep your eyes forward. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. And most importantly, take time. Slow it down. Good work, great work. It takes a really long time. Don't rush through things. Really let yourself sit with the photos and really feel it out. It's really easy to get sucked into that, and it's been on my mind a lot lately. So I hope for any of you who are maybe going through a similar kind of thing, or maybe you've had some of these similar thoughts, I hope that made sense and maybe helped you out. I'd love to hear anything you guys have to say in the comments about it, of course. And with that said, I do want to take a second to pay some bills and thank our sponsor today, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is the best all-in-one platform for building a great-looking website. No matter what your experience level is, they have tons of different templates to choose from, and it's super easy to customize and make it your own. Whether you just need a place to show off your portfolio, or have a blog, or maybe sell a product, or start your own email newsletter, all of the tools you need for your website are built directly into Squarespace, and it's all extremely easy to use. And of course, if you ever have questions or need help with anything, they have 24/7 award-winning customer service, and they're always there to help. If you guys want to try Squarespace out for yourself, you can do so entirely free at squarespace.com. But when you're ready to get signed up, go to squarespace.com/MattDay, and that'll get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you guys again for watching this video. I appreciate it. There will be more videos coming this week because I have put off all of these videos for basically the last week of the month. Yeah, it's been crazy, but I appreciate all of you guys who have reached out and are supporting the channel. Really does mean a lot. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.